Good morning, children. Today we will learn about data. As you know, what is data? Data is collection of raw facts and figures. It is a conventional definition of data. Being a computer student, being a IP student, you all are well aware of data now. So we will explore data in some advanced terms. Let's see. What is data? It is a collection of characters, numbers and other symbols that represents values of some situations or variables. Data is plural and singular of the word data is data. Using computers, data are stored in electronic forms because data processing becomes faster and easier as compared to manual data processing done by people. So, increasing use of computer, mobile and internet has increased volume of data tremendously. Volume means the size of data. Nowadays, you are facing this problem. Your phone is having limited capacity of storage, but you have to attend each and every class of your teacher. You have to send your assignment, you have to receive your assignments, you have to receive videos, you have to receive audios. So there is the limitation of the device to store data. So the volume of the data means the space of the data which is used by a person. The volume of data is increasing nowadays tremendously. The following list contains some examples of data that we often come across. You know, we already discussed in our classes the nature of data. Data is well structured in form of its attributes, its metadata. For example, your iCard. If you will analyze your iCard, if you will observe your iCard, you see that each and every student's iCard has some common fields: name, date of birth, father's name, phone number. The school header is common for all students of your school. So this is a card which is a collection of data of a particular student under certain defined fields. Transactions data generated through banking, ticketing, shopping, etc., whether online or offline. Transactions data, you sometimes used your ATM machines, you might have did shopping and you received the voucher, the bill, receipt, and these all are examples of transactional data. Images, graphics, animations, audio, video, these all are stored in different electronic devices in form of files only. So it is again a type of data. Documents and web pages, you view your documents in form of PDF, in form of docs, in form of PPTs. The web pages, HTML pages, you surf the internet, you search something on net, you get result in terms of web pages. Online post, comments and messages, you share your messages through your mobile, different mobile apps, Hangouts, WhatsApp. The messaging tool, which is the default tool in your mobile, is also an example of data. Signals generated by sensors, your location data. Sometimes you open the location of your phone, so your location data is used by different apps. These are signals generated by sensors. Satellite data including met data, communication data, earth observation data. So there are so many forms of data available in our surroundings. Types of data. A data come from different sources. They can be in different formats. For example, an image is a collection of pixels. A video is made up of frames. A fee slip is made up of few numeric and non-numeric entries. The messages, chats are made up of text, icons, emoticons and images, videos. Two broad categories of data are structured data and unstructured data. Structured data is well defined. It is recorded well defined. You already studied your RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, where you have seen your data is well arranged in form of columns and rows, and ultimately they are part of tables. Tables are part of databases, so there is a proper structure of data in a database. Sometimes you collect data for your teachers in Excel form, your class data, your SBSB data, and different data sets which you use in your school is again a form of structured data. Unstructured data also. The 80% of data in the world is in form of unstructured data form. For example, images, emails, documents, videos, audios, transmissions, sensors, these all are unstructured data. How can you differentiate structured and unstructured data? Let us see in the coming slides. See, this is the structured data. You can see structured data is well organized and unstructured is not organized. Structured data having metadata. Metadata means the data which defines data, census records, birth, income, employment. Unstructured data, the website data, which are present in the form of HTML pages, media, MP3, digital photos, audios, video, text files, your word processing, spreadsheets, presentations. These all are unstructured data formats. The data arranged in a spreadsheet is structured, but the collection of spreadsheets are again unstructured. See, the 20% of data in existing world is structured and the 80% is unstructured. Characteristics. Structured data needs databases. It is easy to access, it is organized, it is efficient to analyze. Unstructured data, there is no databases, no SQL databases which stores unstructured data. The data is very flexible, highly scalable, hard to access, scattered, it is scattered and dispersed. Additional pre-processing is needed. You will learn in your later classes or in higher classes to process unstructured data. How to process unstructured data using different tools. There are so many machine learning tools nowadays. With the help of these machine learning tools, we can process unstructured data also, or we can somehow define this unstructured data in a structured form. The examples are NoSQL databases, the JSON format, JavaScript object notations, and MongoDBs. There are so many such softwares available in the market which are meant for storing unstructured data, to organize, to analyze these data efficiently. Data collection and storage. As you know, now you are well aware of what is data, what is a type of data. Now, how will you collect this data in computers? Being a computer student, being a programmer, how will you collect it? You must know. How will you store it? You must know. For processing data, we need to collect or gather data first. We can then store the data in a file or database or later use. Data collection here means identifying already available data or collecting from the appropriate sources. And storage is also a very important point. You must know how you will store data, where you will store data. There are numerous digital storage devices available in the market. Hard disk drive, solid state drive, CDs, DVDs, tape drive, pen drive, memory cards. These all are examples of digital storage devices. Nowadays, you can store your data on cloud also. There is a concept of cloud. You can store your data online also. Data processing. This process is, you are very well familiar with this. the input, process, output sequence. The computer machine is basically based on this architecture only. This is von Neumann architecture. Von Neumann has given this architecture, and the whole computer machinery is based on this architecture: input, process and output. So you people must understand what is input. Input means to collect data, data preparation, data entry. Process means to store data, to retrieve data. Retrieve means to extract data, to classify data, if it is required to update data. So this is the process. And after processing, how will you process data, and what will you get after processing? Reports, results and processing system. And how these reports should be generated, how the processing system should work, it is the whole responsibility of the programmer or the data analyst who is analyzing data, who is working as data analyzer, as data programmer, as data science professional. What is data analysis now? Now you have studied what is data, how to collect data, how to store data, then how to process data. Now after processing, then how to analyze data, means which process you must have to use so that data comes in form of the desired output. The process of obtaining patterns or knowledge from large sets of databases is known as data analysis, a discipline that incorporates the use of statistics. You have learned about mean, median, mode, several statistics functions where you have the set of data and you extract mean of data, median of data, mode of data. Why we need all these functions? To analyze data, to make some conclusions from a given raw set of data. Data visualization, this is another technique. Data visualization, you can visualize data in form of graphs. Yes, you have to learn how to make graphs from a given data using Python. Machine learning, in higher classes also, if you will opt computer as your subject, you definitely learn how machine learning works. Computer programming and data mining, database to solve complex problems in organizations. Data mining is another feature. Mining means to drag data from a huge amount of data. To mine data means you have learned about coal mining. You must have studied about coal mining. So similarly, data mining, coal mining is from coal mines, but data mining is from databases. It happens from databases to solve complex problems in a organization. Why we need data analysis? Because the business houses, business firms need data to analyze and to make some decisions. Emerging trend, data science, these all things which are surrounded towards data forms a emerging trend. It is a new field. It is known as data science. Data science is an emerging trend nowadays. It is all about creativity. The goal of data science is to get insights and trends by analyzing diverse data sets. Diverse data sets means different data sets which give a competitive advantage to business. Data science is a combination of mathematics, statistics and software with domain expertise in the applied business environment. In different business environments, a professional must know about the tools of mathematics, tools of statistics and obviously the tools of software, and how these softwares, the mathematics, the statistics work on a particular business environment. A data analyst must know how to analyze data, how to make reports. So it is a creative field. It is a new field where one can make his or her career. You can be a data science professional by learning Python. Python has so many tools, so many packages. With the help of these packages, you can analyze data. You can visualize data, you can find data in the form in the form to which the business required. See, these are the different fields where data science is nowadays using, and you marketing, travel, healthcare, sales, automation, credit and insurance, social media. These all are different fields. Now students, you all are studying at home nowadays. And why are you at home? But obvious, it is because of corona. You are seeing the corona trends at TVs daily. You can you imagine how data is coming, from where data is coming, how are they analyzing this data, how are they forming different graphs, how healthcare professionals are using this graph, how government is using this data to analyze the future prospects, whether the lockdown will continue or it will break, how many facilities we need, how many things we have to drop to our citizens, how many laborers are there which are stranded nowadays, and how to reach them to provide them the daily essentials. These all are data trends which are coming in your TVs because of the softwares available in the industry, because of the tools available in the industry by which we can collect data, we can process data, and we can analyze data. And this is the live example of data analysis and data science today. You also have look of some analysts, some future predictions of scientists, IITs. They are saying that by the 21 May we will be far away from corona. How they are making this decision? Because by analyzing the data trends. Hope you understand the data science, the importance of data science nowadays. Let us discuss about Python tools which you have to discuss in which you have to study in this session. Python programs, you are well aware of Python programs. You can process data with the help of Python programs. The NumPy package you studied in your class 11th. We will revise NumPy package first. It is a very helpful tool to process scientific data, and in today's scenario, without NumPy package, one can't be a good Python professional. Pandas to process big data, and this is the new topic which you have to study in your unit 1. This is the main topic of your unit 1, and you must know how Python programs, NumPy and Pandas all can process IO means input output, with text files, CSV comma separated value files, and database. You are in your course, that is MySQL, so you have to learn how to connect Pandas with MySQL also. This is all about today's class. I hope you understood the concept, and you will explore it. And these are the sources from where I have taken these some pictures, some content for you children. Thank you.